Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, the Dion Horto Charity Cup that took place over 3 days concluded at the Mondesi Stadium late on Sunday. Amatuks took the win 1-0 against Square 7. Here's what Fulton van Steenen, captain of Amatuks, had to say.
Did you anticipate the game was going to go? Did you think you guys were going to win?
It's obviously going to. We always knew that it's going to be a tough game because this is not the first time we're playing this team. But in the back of our heads, we always knew that we're going to be victorious because we've been grinding and training for this whole tournament. And at the end of the day, you could see that everything paid off for us. So we're very happy. The communities here, they are behind us. They are supporting us. You see, the people are not even going home. They are still staying here to help us celebrate this victory, because this victory is not only for Amatuks but the whole community of soccer.
How was the game?
Like I said, it was a very physical game. It was a tough game with a lot of good ball players, but our team is a young team, the boys that are still coming up, so we need to grab each other's hands, and I think the game went very well for us.
Okay, what can we expect from your team moving forward? Are we going to be seeing more games?
Definitely. We're partaking in another tournament next weekend in Yankees Bay. So whoever wants to come and support the team, you can come through and support us.
Okay, lastly, if there's a message that you could give to your team, what would it be?
I can only tell them that they did great. Because we are all victors, we are all fighters, we are all grinders, and we did a good job.
Dr. Penny Huwilepo van Hal, senior lecturer at the University of Namibia Food Science and Systems, explains the value-added training being offered to 34 women at the Ongwediva Agro-Marketing Trade Agency Fresh Hub. Now, the training, which started on Wednesday, ended today. Huwilepo van Hal said they hope to empower farmers to make sure their production is not wasted. The training is being offered by the World Food Programme, partnered with UNAM to train rural farmers with skills to engage in income-generating activities by adding value to readily available local natural resources. This is being done in order to reap economic benefits from farmers to ensure food security. Let's take a look.
We are from the University of Namibia, together with working with WFP, where we have an MOU of working together to empower the community, transferring knowledge from the university side and back to the community, because the community is always left out, mostly those who don't qualify to come to the university. One of the key things is to see how to utilize what the community have available at their disposal, not to make it complicated, because we are working also with AMTA, and we are looking at what AMTA is also receiving in abundance from the community. And the farmers are producing quite a number of produce, and we selected 4 among those. Among those is the 4 items: the tomato, butternut, spinach, and onions. So this project basically is trying to add value to those 4 produce, whereby, for instance, if you look at the butternut, we are drying it and produce butternut flakes and also butternut powder. This powder can be used in different ways, even making baby food, but this phase will come later. And then when it comes to onions, we are also drying it, and then after drying, we can either semi-crush it, where you get small flakes like this, or make it in a fine powder, which can even be incorporated in spices.
Now, the week-long creative conference hosted by Music in Africa through the Sound Connects Fund kicked off in Windhoek today. Attendees include Sound Connects Fund guarantees from Angola, Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. The conference will entail an industry engagement event and an excursion to Windhoek's artistic hubs later in the week.
The female representation of the artists. There are a lot of female artists out there, so we want to create a wider opportunity for them. And what else is there? I think that is it. Do I have any questions so far? Any questions?
Maybe just be there and then you can.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to close out. Yeah, I'm just closing out to say that thank you for coming to Namibia. Thank you for empowering us. And I'm just excited to get the meeting done. That's it. That's all I have.
The Oneuptwo Cultural Festival raised over $200,000 at the gala dinner held on Saturday at Oneuptwo in the Omusati region, which will go towards hosting the event beginning of next month. The festival is scheduled to take place from the 1st of July till the 7th of July 2023 at the Oneuptwo Center. Omusati Regional Governor Ergenius Njala thanked the sponsors for investing in the event, saying it will help Namibians preserve culture for generations to come. Njala also used the platform and asked people to educate themselves about Oneuptwo before spreading misinformation. He said some people say Oneuptwo is a wedding, which cannot be further from the truth. Oneuptwo is not a wedding, and that is the perception. Some people are saying the way we initiate the girls is because we want them to get married, but this is not true. Njala said. Now, the face of the Oneuptwo Cultural Festival, Maria Nepembe, pledged $10,000 million. Businessman Johannes Kambwela pledged the highest amount of $20,000 million. Kambwa Trading and Rani Group with a pledge of $15,000 million each. Over 250 exhibitors have registered to take part in the exhibition. Oneuptwo Mayor Selma Asino said the Oneuptwo Cultural Festival is still facing the challenges of some sponsors pulling out because of misconceptions about the festival. Some even go to the extent of discouraging our partners and sponsors from participating in the festivities, Asino said. Now, she said the festival is not merely about cultural activities, but also a platform for business people to showcase their products and services. Oneuptwo Town Council has set aside $700,000 for the renovation of infrastructures at the Oneuptwo Center. Asino said the council has worked hard to revive the festival and make it bigger and better this year. Now, in our next story, the National Arts Council of Namibia has recently unveiled the beneficiaries of its 2023 Circle 1 Grant Fund, injecting a total sum of $167,234.75 into the country's arts scene. The approved applications encompass a diverse range of artistic endeavors, with recipients hailing from the regions of Oshana, Oshadonchupa, Khomas, and Kavango West. Among the recipients are prominent events such as the Okahau Arts Festival and the Osona Cultural Festival, which will receive support to further enrich Namibia's vibrant cultural landscape. Additionally, individual artists Eric Schnack, Gihindien Wavali Ngipandulwa, Maria Nakandiru Gideon, Esa Untupu Nkoba, Francisca Rungoro, and Philomene Haikari will also benefit from the grant. A recent press release from the NACN emphasized the organization's dedication to supporting artists and their creative endeavors. The NACN recognizes the vital role artists play in shaping culture and society. However, it acknowledges that artists often face challenges due to limited funding and resources, especially during unprecedented times. To address this issue, the NACN aims to provide financial support to artists while helping them manage their resources effectively. In line with this objective, the NACN has implemented a new approach to artist grants. The grant will be dispersed in quarterly installments, allowing artists to have a steady stream of income throughout the project's duration, rather than receiving a lump sum upfront, read a press release from NACN. The National Arts Fund, established by the government, operates under the National Arts Fund Act No. 1 of 2005 and is governed by the National Arts Council of Namibia. The fund's primary objective is to promote Namibian contemporary and traditional arts with a particular focus on artistically underserved communities. In our Community Talk segment, The 10th edition of the SADC's Naval Pentathlon kicked off this morning at the naval base Captain P.N. Sakaria in Walvis Bay. We get into the story on the other side of the break.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Now, the 10th edition of the SADC Naval Pentathlon kicked off this morning at the naval base Captain P.N. Sakaria in Walvis Bay. According to Captain Paulinus Nuyoma of the naval base Captain P.N. Sakaria, 5 countries will take part in the military pentathlon, namely the host Namibia, South Africa, Botswana, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Let's take a look.
Everyone excited for this day as we kick off the SADC Naval Pentathlon 2023. A decision was taken during the 28th meeting of the Standing Maritime Committee, SMC, to entrust the Republic of Namibia to host the SADC Naval Pentathlon of 2023. Hence, the Namibian Navy was therefore tasked with the responsibility of making sure that this SADC Naval Pentathlon 2023 becomes a reality. It is therefore for this reason that we are here today. I had to welcome to you all to now base Captain Navy P.N. Sakaria. Welcome to the Namibian Navy. It is really an honor and privilege to have you all here today. Please allow me to extend a warm welcome to our friends from the SADC sister countries, namely from the Republic of Botswana, the Republic of South Africa, and the United Republic of Tanzania. Welcome to Namibia. Welcome to the land of the braves, welcome to Walvis Bay, and welcome to the Namibian Navy. Please feel at home. Don't be discouraged by the weather. You will soon adapt. Thank you very much for being here. We are truly honored by your presence. Once again, welcome all and feel at home. Thank you very much.
In economic news after the break, Sam Ikela appointed head of SMEs at Nedbank Namibia. We get into this on the other side of the break.
To another exciting episode of Oneuptwo. Jullie is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik gaan byt.
Getting into our economic news, Sam Ikela has been appointed as the new head of small and medium enterprises at Nedbank Namibia. With a quarter-century of experience in the financial sector, Ikela has held various roles, including relationship manager, branch manager, business development manager, and head of SME finance and development. Until recently, he served as the country manager for an international investment firm. Now let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.85, against the euro at 20.45, and $2.59 gets you 1 Chinese yuan. Gold, copper, and Brent crude oil went down on the commodities, with Brent crude oil at 0.26%, trading at $74.69 per barrel. In international news, on the other side of the break, Trudeau says aborted mutiny is an international issue for Russia.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Getting into our international news, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said that the aborted mutiny in Russia was an internal issue for Moscow to work through and that too much speculation over it could prove counterproductive. Wagner mercenary forces under renegade leader Yevgeny Prigozhin seized control of military headquarters in southern Russia and began to move towards Moscow on Saturday, 24th June 2023, before suddenly heading back to eastern Ukraine after a deal with the Kremlin. Senior Russian officials rallied around President Vladimir Putin on Monday after the aborted mutiny by mercenaries that appeared to pose the greatest threat to his grip on power of his 23-year rule.
Did you discuss at all during your meeting the uprising in Moscow over the weekend and the grave security concerns?
I think everyone has a lot of questions about what this actually means, but we don't yet have a lot of answers. And too much speculation right now, I think, could probably be extremely counterproductive. What we are doing, as we always will, is discussing possible challenges and possible consequences for our own security, for our people's security, for global stability. That is our highest preoccupation. It is obviously an internal issue for Russia to work through, but we need to stand continuing to be strong in support of Ukraine, in support of the rules-based order, and that's where we will remain.
Prime Minister Trudeau, on that same topic.
Indeed, we had obviously very serious conversations about possible implications of the internal challenges that Russia is facing. It is their internal challenges, but our strength in continuing to stand for Ukraine, continue to stand to defend the values of democracy and openness and territorial integrity and sovereignty that define not just our approaches, but the United Nations approach to the rules-based order remains consistent. In regards to Ukraine, Canada, for one, has always supported Ukraine's eventual accession to NATO when conditions allow.
We will take a look at the weather predictions shortly.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes. Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Let's take a look at the weather predictions for tomorrow. In the north, maximum temperatures range from 20.7 to 31.6 degrees Celsius with mostly clear conditions throughout the day and a partly cloudy afternoon in one location. In the central, maximum temperatures range from 11.9 to 17.7 degrees Celsius with clear conditions throughout the day in most locations and becoming cloudy in the afternoon in one location. In the coastal regions, maximum temperatures range from 14.6 to 17.6 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions throughout the day and rains in some areas. In the south, maximum temperatures range from 15.3 to 17.4 degrees Celsius, with clear conditions throughout the day in one location and partly cloudy conditions with some rain in another location. The minimum temperatures range from 2.2 to 13.4 degrees Celsius. We will now head over to the sports desk, proudly brought to you by Sports Rep, right after this break.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhom.com.na.
Let's take a look at your sports news.
Good evening and welcome to the sports news on Sunset News. We start off in the world of cricket. In the ICC World Cup qualifier played today, Zimbabwe won by 304 runs, with Williams putting up a fantastic 174 runs, which included 21 fours. The fifth round of the Namibian National MX Championships on Saturday at Galena MX Park in Brakwater was once again a huge success. Although the school holidays played a role in the decreased number of entries, the 50cc, 65cc and 125cc classes were the best represented, with 16 competitors of the 35 entries. The Dion Hoto Charity Cup that took place over 3 days concluded at the Mondesa Stadium late on Sunday. Amatuks took the win 1-0 against Square 7. Those have been our sports stories.
You are still watching Sunset News. After the break, we get into your news highlights.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
to another exciting episode of Oneuptwo. Jou is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik kan byt.
You're still watching Sunset News, and if you have just joined us, worry not. We get into your news highlights from today's broadcast just now. The Olufuko Cultural Festival raised over $200,000 million at the gala dinner held on Saturday at Otapi in the Omusadi region, which will go towards hosting the event beginning of next month. The National Arts Council of Namibia has recently unveiled the beneficiaries of its 2023 Circle 1 Grant Fund, injecting a total sum of $167,232.75 Namibian dollars into the country's art scene. The fifth round of the Namibian National Motocross Series, which took place over the weekend, was a huge success. The 50, 125 and 65cc classes were the best represented, with a total of 16 competitors. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenn Rashipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.